I told you what was going to happen with Ziggy, but now I have an even bigger theory. A theory so big that it'll answer just about every mystery in Eden Zero. And it goes something like this. Shiki will use the chronophages to destroy the universes. That's right, not one universe, not two, I'm talking all the universes. Besides Universe Zero. 'Cause see, the chronophages have been the key to Universe Zero all along. And we know that Universe Zero is the key to saving the timelines. Mashima has even said that this next saga is going to revolve around Mother and the chronophages. So in this video, I'm going to cover the 4 things that prove why Shiki will use the chronophages to reach Universe Zero. The first of which is Ziggy's backstory. Ziggy's backstory doesn't just explain his origins. It also teases the ultimate end goal of Eden Zero. When Ziggy meets the cryptic robot elders, they tell him that all of the universes go extinct 20,000 years in the future, except for Universe Zero. By using the Eye of God, the androids have observed one universe that's outside the influence of the other universes, which they have dubbed Universe Zero. Their other theory is that Ether runs out in the future because of the disappearance of Mother. To save the other timelines, Ziggy needs to reach Universe Zero and learn how to protect Mother and the Ether. So as far as we're concerned, this means Shiki will have to face the same problem. Assuming the story really does move into the next saga, Shiki will effectively step in for Ziggy. He'll need to find out how to reach Mother and how to reach Universe Zero. Otherwise, he'll be doomed, no matter which universe he ends up in. But hold on to that thought, because now we need to move on to the second step towards Universe Zero. What I mean is that we need to figure out what universes really are, how they work. In the real world, there's a bunch of different takes on multiverse theory. One is the idea that the Big Bang created different universes with different laws of physics. But that isn't what we're really dealing with in Eden Zero. That'd be more what you see in something like Doctor Strange. Eden Zero seems to be closer to the many worlds take on multiverse theory. The many worlds theory basically says that you influence the world around you whenever you make a decision. So you create another universe each time you make a decision. So if you think about subscribing to this channel, there's gonna be one universe where you didn't subscribe and another universe where you did subscribe. Now, I'm not gonna tell you which one to pick, but just saying, one of them has the ending to Eden Zero and the other doesn't. But hopefully you get the idea. Because this is exactly what we see in Eden Zero. When Drac and Joe killed Shiki, that created one universe. And when Shiki thought about leaving or staying behind to stop the bombs, that led to another 2 universes, which was elegantly illustrated thanks to the very underrated Xiao Mei. So under the many worlds theory, we get a much better understanding of the universes in Eden Zero. They're not places you can physically go to in different parts of outer space. They're all simultaneously existing timelines. Meaning that if you're in one universe, that's it. You can't get on a ship and go to another universe. You'd have to do like Ziggy, travel back in time, and wait for a new event that places you in a different timeline than you were before. But that presents us with the problem. If Universe Zero is outside the influence of time, how do you actually get there? Before I answer that question, I want to just give a quick shout out to the comment of the week from my last Eden Zero video. If you'd like me to share your comment in the next video, then just make sure to share your theories down below. But like I was saying, if Universe Zero is really outside the influence of time, then we need to figure out what connects Universe Zero to all of the other universes. We already know, at least according to the android theory, that all of time converges from Universe Zero. So that gives us a broad idea of how Universe Zero influences the other universes. Because if time converges from Universe Zero, then the obvious implication is that Universe Zero is somehow the original universe, or the universe that came before the other universes. Unfortunately, that still doesn't help us figure out how to get there. We're still missing the common factor between all of the universes. You would think it's Shiki, but evidently he's not exactly protected by plot armor. There's also the question of Rebecca, but we'll get back to that idea later. The one thing that seems to be present in all of the universes, and our third step towards Universe Zero, is the existence of chronophages. Chronophages seem to be a constant threat in every universe we've seen, and the constant among the chronophages is that they always seem to be attracted to Rebecca's use of her ether gear. One of the obvious questions is, why is that? But let's take a step back. See, the answer has been right in front of us all along. The name of the chronophages consists of two parts, chrono meaning time, and phage coming from the Greek word for devour. But phage also refers to the viruses that eat bacteria. If we piece this back together, we get a virus that devours time. Or if we compare them to real-life phages, we get viruses that eat bacteria in time. Naturally, we have to ask ourselves what the closest thing to a bacteria or virus would be for time. Well, there's only one real threat to time, and that's anomalies. Time tends to just move on its own, so anomalies are the only thing that can interrupt that flow. And who do we know that can create anomalies? Exactly, Rebecca. So just by looking at their name, we can assume that chronophages are somehow responsible for responding to the anomalies created by Rebecca. But why is that? Why do the chronophages need to respond to anomalies, when there's already an infinite amount of timelines? Well, let's do a quick recap. First, we know from Ziggy's backstory that all of the universes except for Universe 0 are going extinct, and that time seems to converge at Universe 0. Second, we know that the universes are simultaneously existing timelines, but you can't reach Universe 0 like you can the other universes. And third, we know that at least so far, every universe has chronophages that respond to anomalies. Let me say that again. All the universes converge at Universe 0, and all the universes have chronophages. So this commonality seems to suggest a connection. In other words, the mystery behind chronophages and the mystery of Universe 0 might just lead to the same answer. Which brings us to step 4, what the chronophages are really attracted to. I know we already said Rebecca, but let's just take this one step further. Rebecca is the girl attracted to gravity, right? Meaning for whatever reason, Rebecca seems to end up with Shiki in all of the universes. And if the chronophages are attracted to Rebecca, then naturally they'd be drawn to Shiki. Now, besides the fact that this makes the shipping wars of Eden Zero even more complicated, it also implies a certain design. Namely, that Rebecca is a means to an end, a tool of sorts for connecting Shiki and the chronophages. So if we follow our theory about Universe 0 and the chronophages, then that would mean Shiki is somehow the key to Universe 0. Which isn't much of a secret considering we were literally just told this. But adding in the chronophages fleshes things out. And really, it all makes perfect sense. I mean, what is Ziggy doing right now? He's using Rebecca as a time machine. He's literally using her as a tool. Think about what else he did. He also combined his power and her power to travel forward in time. Here, we have proof that Rebecca's powers and Shiki's powers are compatible. They seem to naturally work together. So when we piece these 4 steps together, Ziggy's backstory, the universes, the chronophages, and the relationship between Shiki and Rebecca, it's clear that Shiki is meant to use the chronophages. Shiki has the power of gravity, that power leads him to the chronophages, and the chronophages are somehow tied to Universe 0. And here's how I think they're tied to Universe 0. The explosive energy of the bomb sent Ziggy forward in time, right? Well, what if Shiki repeated what Ziggy did, but this time he used another kind of energy, an ether that sends you back in time, or even sends you outside time and space in a sort of purgatory. And guess who feeds on special time ether? Exactly, the chronophages. So, if Shiki ends up trying to reach Universe 0, it seems like the only way to do it would be to somehow combine his power and Rebecca's in the chronophages. That's the basic idea of the theory, which I'm sure everyone can get on board with at this point. But now we get into the real speculation, the part in the video where we really have to put on our tinfoil hats. Because even if we know about the connection, we still don't know what it means for the end of the story. We have a general idea of where the story is headed, but we can't say for certain exactly what will happen. However, here's what I think will happen. What did Mother say in the beginning? She said, will Shiki become a hero or a demon king? And the narrator said he becomes a name of legend right before that. So we know Shiki does something to become a legend in the universe, assuming he's not already there yet. But Mother implies that he has a certain choice. In other words, a choice that affects the entire universe. Or, if we take that one step further, a choice that determines the fate of all the universes. Plus, think about what Holy told us. She told us that the 4 cosmoses are called the Grand Shiki Cosmoses. Now, I don't know about you, but when I put my name on something, it's because I own it. So the implication here is that the 4 cosmoses belong to Shiki, In other words, Shiki is somehow in control of the universe. So when you combine this and the choice for Mother and the chronophages and the Universe Zero problem, here's what it seems to spell out. After this arc, Shiki will need to solve the Universe Zero problem, figure out where it is, how to find Mother, and how to save the universes. And part of this mission will involve using the power of the chronophages to reach Universe Zero. At the crucial moment, Shiki will be faced with a choice of some kind. He can either use the chronophages to destroy the other timelines and protect Universe Zero, or he can protect all of the universes. It would be a repeat of his decision in Aoi War, and it would lead him to become either a hero or a demon king. That, in connection with everything else we talked about, is why I think we already know the ending of Eden Zero. But like I said, that last part is mostly speculation. At this point, I want to hear what you guys think. What do you think all of this means for the end of Eden Zero? Share your theories and check out what other people have to say down in the comments. And if you'd like another theory like this one, then you should definitely check out my theory on gravity ether. In that video, I explain how you can scientifically prove that Shiki cannot control gravity at all. You can find that video in the playlist linked right here. In any event, thank you for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.